Good afternoon, and welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Sky Factory 3. So I do apologize. Of course, at the end of last week, I wasn't able to get an episode out because of the crash that we incurred in the last episode. And I wasn't able to get on the server for about 3 days. And then I was planning on this video coming out on Tuesday. Of course, it's a day late, just due to the amount of time that it took to get ready for it, and that is due to after the crash, all the power was drained from our system. And so when I logged on, I had no access to this. I had no flight, no nothing. So I had to get all that sorted out first before I could really, be able to record, and much less actually be able to do any decoration or anything like that. So we do have power again, 26 billion RF right now. Also, yeah, I forgot to plug up. I'll have to do that real quick. This is accepting power now. So basically I went through, that's another thing I had to do before this episode, was I had to go through and rework the entire power system, which I did get all that sorted, which is wonderful. I am going to just really quickly do one thing that I forgot to actually plug up. So let me grab this one. I need to plug back up the squid connection, because I totally forgot about that. But anyways, so this is all running now and everything. And everything's plugged back up. It's all working, and it seems to be working better. Honestly. And then I did do a bit of decorating. You'll notice we can't get outside here. I haven't finished totally shaping this up. You'll notice I changed a few things that I was working on. But I did spend a while this afternoon and yesterday afternoon kind of shaping up the ship on the front section here to the way that I wanted. I still got to work on this part, and then I'll start coming around the ship. I'm kind of working on the exterior a bit right now. And trying to get that sorted, and then I'm going to build the turbine on the other side, and that's when I'll change this turbine, the design and everything. I don't think I'm going to add any more extreme turbines, realistically, because this one is having so much issue, and I don't really know why, because we're really producing enough steam to run this full speed, but it's just not. It's staying at like 585 all of a sudden, and just won't accept steam properly. So, I don't know. I mean, you'll notice this is barely even pulling anything. It's just not importing the steam like it should, even though there's plenty of connections here for it to accept the steam. So I don't know. It's just acting up on me. So, no clue. No clue whatsoever. But anyways, next episode should come out tomorrow, because this episode, was a day late, so it'll be coming out on a Wednesday. The next scheduled episode will be on a Thursday, so I am going to go ahead and release another episode tomorrow for you guys. So once again, I do apologize, this is a day late. I know I had some questions. I made a post on Twitter, but I know I still had some questions about what happened to Sky Factory, But, I mean, after the crash, it was down for, like, my base was down for a while, and it took a little while to get that sorted and everything, and then get everything back running and all that mess, and then I had to totally rewire everything. So anyways, today, what we're going to work on, first, we have a couple little miscellaneous tasks, and then I want to get into one big task that's going to lead into next episode. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I want to do is I want to set up just something really quick, which is the Extra Utilities Indexer and Indexer Remote. Fairly cheap. I'm going to need a couple of these and a screen. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some extra Ender Shards here. And the reason I want this is because if you've ever seen my other series, in 1.10, you know that I like basically the Anywhere toolbox, because it is absolutely so handy, to have. And you'll notice my inventory is like super cluttered right now, and I want to kind of fix that. So that's what we're doing here. And let's go ahead and grab ourselves just a diamond chest, basically just for storage. And then I'm also going to want a transfer node, and then just some conduit. And we're going to go ahead and we'll just set this up inside of our extra utilities room here. And so what we'll do is we'll set up our indexer. We'll put it right here. That sounds good to me. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and shift right click with our indexer remote. And so now we should be able to access this indexer, and then we'll go ahead and just set up a chest like right here, transfer node, and we'll just plug that up real quick. And so now if I was to say open up the indexer and we'll throw in like the Draconic Energy IO, you'll notice that it gets pulled out, it gets sent to this chest, and then if I want to access it, I can just pull it out of here. So basically anything that I'm working with, you know, chisels and bits, stuff like that, that I don't want to take up my inventory slots, I can just throw into this, which is very, very handy, realistically. Now, in addition, let's go ahead, because right now it's very, very slow. I don't have any speed upgrades. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and run some weighted pressure plates through here, get ourselves at least a couple speed upgrades. I'll add more, you know, as time goes on. So let's get, for right now, we'll just get 2. That's fine. And we'll go ahead and throw them in the transfer node here, just like that. And we can have up to 20 in there, but for right now, 2 will be okay. It'll just, you know, it'll pull a little bit quicker. And so anything that I'm working with, like this glass and these chiseled bits, we're going to go ahead and throw into this. Our chisel bit bag, we'll throw our chisel, our patterns, and there we go. Now we have a sorted inventory, and everything that we're working with is now within the indexer, within this diamond chest. And if we were to fill this chest up, you know, we could add another chest here. Now, keep in mind, if you wanted to, you could also make like an anywhere input. So you could have like an indexer that plugs up and then it feeds into a chest that feeds into your system. But with this being Sky Factory, generally, you know, we're around the base, realistically. So there's not a whole lot of reason for us to worry too much about, you know, being able to access our AE system or our refined storage system anywhere, I don't feel like, because of the fact that we're generally right beside it. So not too much of an issue, I don't think. There's 15 speed upgrades. I'll add the other 5. Actually, I think I've got. Okay, we'll go ahead and add those in. And then we'll add some speed upgrades to this resonator, I guess. It's not like we're hurting for grid power right now. And if we were, we could always set up more Draconic setups. But now that that's set up, that was just kind of an inventory sorting, because my inventory is always terrible, as you know. Anyways, the next thing that I want to do is I want to actually upgrade our Bow of the Wyvern. So to do that, if we take a look here, we are going to need a Draconic Bow. It's going to take Draconic tier, which we've already got that. That's fine. And we're going to need 2 Awakened Draconium Ingots, a Draconic Energy Core, and an Awakened Core. We've actually already got a Draconic Energy Core. I guess it was left over from something. And so the Awakened Core is 5 Awakened Draconium and then 4 Wyvern Cores, which of course at this point is not, it's not really an issue. Oh, well, there we go. Withers is spawning. So we'll go ahead over here to our Draconic room and we'll set this up. Oh, and then we're also going to need a Nether Star. So it'll only take like a second to charge up to get that going. And I will go ahead and say, after we get this crafted, my goal is to actually go take on the Chaos Dragon today. We'll see how it goes. We may actually need the Awakened Draconium Armor, but I've never actually tried to fight the Chaos Dragon with the Supremium Armor. And I'm just kind of curious to see how it plays out, because you know, the Draconium Armor has the shield, which of course is very, very useful, very, very handy. But the Supremium Armor, we've never actually managed to actually take damage while wearing it. So I am very, very curious to see how the Supremium Armor would hold up. I mean, you may not even take any damage on the Chaos Dragon, which is what I aim to find out today. And actually, I tell you what, while that's running, let's go ahead. I want to go ahead and get the Draconic pick as well. So there's our Draconic bow. Good stuff. And then let's get, tell you what, I'm just going to pull this stuff up. And I tell you what, let's go ahead and get ourselves an energy infuser as well. Because at the moment, you know, it takes a little while to actually charge this Draconic Evolution stuff. And the energy infuser would be able to accept more and charge faster. And it just kind of makes sense to have it because we have the power to do it. So we might as well have the actual means to charge stuff quickly. So we'll just put this in the Draconic Evolution room. I mean, realistically, it would mainly be used for times like whenever we first get a new piece of Awakened, because, I mean, we're around the AE system enough, and it has wireless charging. We're right over by the AE system. So, generally, the stuff would stay charged. It's just this initial charge takes a little while. So, we'll put it, like, right... I want to have the wings out here. Put it right there. And we'll go ahead and grab connection. I do have, like, right underneath these floors, I have a wireless connector. Alright, so that's charged. We can throw that in there and you'll notice it charges that Draconic bow, you know, pretty well instantly. And of course this doesn't have any charge. And there we go. Very, very nice. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, right now there's no upgrades in this stuff. Do we want to go ahead and upgrade it? I think we do. So we actually have an upgrade arrow damage already. Okay, so the basic level upgrade takes 2 golden apples, 2 diamonds, 2 eyes of ender, a draconic core, and then the upgrade key. So draconic core, 2 eyes of ender, 2 diamonds, 2 golden apples. Alright, so the golden apples, we'll go ahead and just apply a couple upgrades because we've never actually covered that on camera. We need, what, a draconic core and then 2 diamonds. Then what we'll do is we'll lay this out in the crafting injector, just like so. And then we can throw our bow in here and hit start. And it's going to start charging. Now your upgrade keys won't be consumed, so just keep that in mind. You really only need like 1 of those, unless that's been changed. I don't think it has. And so there we go. We have a basic arrow damage increase. So next up, if we wanted to upgrade it again to the Wyvern level, it would take 2 Nether Stars, 2 Draconic Cores, 2 Emeralds, and a Wyvern Core. And I'll tell you what, while we're doing this, let's go ahead and get some of these other upgrades, like Draw Speed would be handy. I think we're going to need a new bow, aren't we? And then we'll get Arrow Speed, and we also want RF Capacity. So there we go. Now we have all the upgrade keys that involve the bow, which is ideal. That way we can handle, you know, set up multiple recipes. So for example, we're going to add 3 tier 1s, so we'll grab 3 of each. So we'll throw in like RF capacity first. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through and just add these. I mean, they're all the same, you know, it's always the same recipe for the different tiers. You just need different upgrade keys. And, you know, only certain tiers, or only certain things can be added. Like, for example, the bow can only take arrow damage, arrow speed, draw speed, and RF capacity, and so on. So, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to add all these, and I will be back shortly. Alright, so now we have a bow here that has Wyvern level on everything. So very, very nice. And I grabbed a bunch of arrows. We can do an energy shot with this. Like if you take a look here at the config, you can set it to Draconic Fire so it doesn't need ammunition. You can adjust the base damage. I did set the base damage up to max for right now. You can do auto fire, magnification, shockwave power, arrow velocity, and explosion. But keep in mind that it does increase your RF per shot when you do that. So for example, you'll notice my RF drops a little bit whenever I shoot this. So I'm going to see how this works. I may actually end up throwing on the explosion, but we'll see. We shall see. But anyways, let's go ahead and go to the end. And we need to go find ourselves a Chaos Dragon. So it's a little bit of a flight. It's always at multiples of 10,000. So I'm going to just start flying out in this direction to like 10,000, negative 10,000. And we'll see if we can find ourselves a Chaos Dragon. So this will take just a bit. So I will be back. Alright, so we're right about to hit 10,000, negative 10,000. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use our advanced dislocator and mark this. Add new. We'll say Chaos Dragon. Commit. Alright, and let's go ahead and lock it. And so we're going to try this. I don't know how well the Supremium armor is going to work against it. Of course, one of the downsides, like straight out, that Supremium doesn't have is the speed that, you know, the Draconic armor would have, as far as like flying speed. So we're going to hope that this works, because the Supremium armor seems to negate most everything. But you see there's just a heads up, yada yada. But let's go ahead and start doing some work. Now you'll notice that oh wow, the Supremium, we're not, oh whoa, we took some damage there. I think he hit us though. But like his orbs, that generally those orbs are what wreck you when you fight the Supremium Dragon, or the Chaos Dragon, I mean. And they're not doing like anything against us. It's only when he actually hits us, like runs into us, which normally, I mean, that's massive damage anyway if you get ran over by the Chaos Dragon. So, but we have to just kind of fly around here and ping at these things, because right now we can't even damage the Chaos Dragon until these things are taken out. Alright, he did manage to smack me a couple times. Like, he just ran right into me. And it took me out. So, he actually was doing quite a bit of durability damage to the Supremium stuff. Okay. Whoa! Okay, Supremium is not going to work, in fact. Because the dark energy, that's what's going to prevent us from being able to use it. Which makes sense. I mean, realistically, because what it is, the dark energy is meant to actually drain charge, you know, from the Draconic armor. And so since we're not wearing Draconic armor, there's no charge to defend us from it. And it basically just goes straight to our health and insta-kills us. So, we are going to need Wyvern armor for that. So, I was kind of just curious, you know, to see how that would work. I will say for the dragon's normal attacks, it's amazing because you take no damage from it. But that dark energy is what gets us. We did manage to kill a few of the crystals, but we're going to have to go Wyvern, because whenever you start killing the crystals, that's when he starts actually launching the dark energy. So, I will say though that it's about wrapping up point. So what I'm going to do between this episode and next is I'm actually going to make us some armor. Which actually, but I mean, we can make this Wyvern stuff fairly easy. We are going to need like a full set of diamond armor. Uh-oh. I don't think we have the diamonds for it. Just kidding, of course. And then we're going to need 4 of these. So there's our Wyvern set. And then to upgrade to the Draconic, it's actually not that bad. realistically. But we are going to need a few of these Awakened cores, Draconic Energy cores, and all of that. And then I'm going to apply upgrades to them. So, for example, the Wyvern stuff can accept RF capacity, jump boost, which we're not going to worry about jump boost, I don't think. Well, I might throw it on there just to have it, but we'll have RF capacity, movement speed, shield capacity, and shield recovery, which we're definitely going to want those for. And I may throw jump boost in there just because. And realistically, I'm probably going to go ahead between this episode and next, and what I'll do is I'll upgrade our bow and all of our armor and give it the Draconic level. Because like right now our bow has the Wyvern level. For the Draconic level, you are going to need 2 Nether Stars, 2 Wyvern cores, 2 blocks of Emerald, and an Awakened core for each one. So we'll do like 4 on the bow and 4 or 5 on each piece of armor. So it's gonna take a while. And it's gonna be fairly expensive, but we have the resources at the moment to do that. So I'm gonna get all that upgraded. It's going to take a little while, but like I said, there'll be another episode tomorrow, and so next episode we will definitely kill the dragon, and then we'll probably get started on our new power source, which I will tell you that the new power source is absolutely insane power generation, and honestly it's going to make our fire water setups and all that look like chump change. But actually, one thing I do want to make before we end out the episode is I want to just get ourselves an Awakened item dislocator. These are fairly cheap to craft, realistically. But let's go ahead and snag ourselves one. Just like that. And basically what this does is if there's items on the ground... How did I steal... I guess I had diamond armor in there. Okay, that's fine. But what the Awakened item dislocator does is, for example, if there's items just laying on the ground like these torches... and I shift right click this, you'll notice it sucks items up. I'm getting items from all over the base right now, actually. Oh man, it's pulling things like from the chicken farm and everything right now. That is absolutely insanity. Okay, I don't know, maybe the Awakened one's a little bit overkill. Maybe I just need the standard dislocator. It pulls everything from everywhere in the base. The standard dislocator, I think, is only like a few blocks, if I recall correctly. But the Awakened one is more powerful than I recalled, actually. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And if you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with new videos and stuff that come out. Once again, I do apologize that it was a little while between the last episode and this episode. Like, this episode was a day late. I do apologize about that, but the crash that we incurred last episode was actually pretty serious. But everything's sorted now, and honestly, I've noticed we're getting less lag. So since I updated the wiring and stuff, we still get it on occasion, but it's not nearly as bad. So, anyways, I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys then.